Hey everybody, thanks for making your way up to Boston, or if you're local, thanks for fighting the traffic to get in. Today's talk is on the Cloud Security Alliance and sort of the formation of what it is and some of the initiatives that we're doing. The original speaker, Jim Rivas, the executive director, is stuck in Europe with the whole volcanic eruption that's happening. So we're lucky that we have Christopher Hoff here join and give a large portion of the presentation, and myself. We're both founding members, and Chris is very active as technical director, as many of you know, and outside of his cloud security affiliation. Go-Bird and whatnot. Anyway, we're just going to talk a little bit about the the alliance itself and sort of what are the things and how folks can get involved, and then defining what the cloud is and some of the publications and activities that we've been doing as a group. I think it's important to know sort of where this comes from, the sort of genesis of how it was formed. It's about a year and a half ago when a number of us were asked from a number of CIOs and folks in industry, scratching their head and saying, okay, this cloud initiative is coming down. And we're getting asked today to leverage these capabilities, and quite frankly, we're a little scared on the security aspect. And there's really nothing out there that can provide guidance. So there were, starting with Christopher around the infrastructure and sort of the architecture of what the cloud is. We then set forth, put together a version 1 guidance and sort of outlining the different domains of what people should be thinking about as they're moving their infrastructure, their processing out, their data out into a cloud environment. So it's really meant as a sort of a practitioner's guide, a document, a white paper that you can use as reference to help you think through some of the other items. So that's how it got started. This was, again, about a year and a half ago. It's a non-for-profit organization. And it's really meant to be as an open grassroots effort. So there's a LinkedIn group where all the discussions are held. There's a number of working groups. There's experts in cloud and security, compliance, virtualization, basically all aspects or all walks of life in the security realm, and what the idea is around securing a cloud-like infrastructure as that's defined. So that's the genesis of where it started, and this is really the idea of it's the mission statement, but this is really the idea of what we want to do to help protect and help give you, the greater you, the community you, of ideas that you should be aware of, and really principles that you should look to as guiding light as you're moving infrastructure, etc., out into the cloud. The real brief minute on the organizational structure. The board of directors, a number of executives in the information security industry, or at least representatives from large enterprise corporate in the InfoSec industry. We have a number of folks on the executive steering committee, and the idea here is that it's not only an alliance for practitioners and for guidance, it's actually, we're envisioning it as an area where both the cloud service providers and the cloud users can meet and sort of come to common ground. So we have a practitioner's guide, an advisory council of solution providers and vendors. We're announcing the practitioner's guide, the enterprise council in the coming months as that goes. So they can help define what they want from cloud providers, and it's also an arm where cloud providers can sort of share their information, sort of what their constraints are in addressing those challenges. 100% volunteer, and the operational manager is of course, Jim Rivas. where we are today, we have 40 corporate members. So in the past year and change, it's actually grown quite a bit. We have 10 non-for-profits, affiliations, including the Open Group, Lisa, and the like, that are all members of a non-for-profit alliance that we formed. We have over 8,000 members, and it's been growing tremendously fast, and that's a global, international base of folks. So we're seeing people all over the world, India, China, Europe, and South America, looking to expand and bring sort of cloud security initiatives locally to their community. Some of the activities that we've done this year, and this is sort of a short list, we started, not mentioned here, but we actually released version 2 of the guidance at the end of last year. So, the initial guidance was 30 or 40 contributing authors to produce a 75-page white paper. To version 2, we had over 300, I think close to 400 members, subject matter experts, each in their own area, participating, contributing to the document creation. So really a broad sense of industry experts that have brought their knowledge to this presence. That is really the foundation, and these are things and activities that we've moved since. So we announced at RSA, the threat research and sort of what are the top threats that are available or coming from cloud. We had what I think would probably be the largest cloud gathering, certainly from a security perspective, was Secure Cloud 2010 in Barcelona, and that was in contribution with ANISA, IEEE, ISACA. So again, a number of organizations that are all working together to sort of educate the public. There's a number of tools, as you can see. The Matrix tool that's being released now in Europe. We have an assessment kickoff that's happening in Chicago led by Bank of America to come up with a common criteria-like approach. The Metrics Council, Metrics Research, and as well as the Congress slated for a November meeting. So that's sort of a flavor of what we're doing. How can you get involved locally? It's volunteer, so it's as much time and effort as you're willing to put in or want to put in that you can sort of take away from the group. It's free. It's mostly on LinkedIn. We're looking for a wide variety of participants. So if you're subject matter experts, to help them contribute and move forward, actively working with the working committees and working groups, to even just looking into reading and providing more information and sort of gathering research, to even administrative and organizational help. It's sort of an all hands on deck, and it's a very lightweight group, and not much of any hierarchy. So there's certainly room for anyone who's got time and a passion to help contribute. We have the corporate sponsorship that we spoke about, and also talked about some of the sort of joint projects that we've already kicked off, throughout much of this year, with other alliances and other groups in the industry. I think a lot of this is actually already mentioned. So, I guess essentially the call to action from a structural or from an organization standpoint is really on you guys and wanting to join and participate and help, I guess, spread the gospel, for lack of a better term. We were going to talk about a little bit more about sort of what cloud computing is, and then move on to a little bit more about what some of the organizational initiatives that we've kicked off in a little bit more detail. So, with that being said, let me introduce Christopher, and
Thanks. Let's see. How many of you have read the CSA guidance? One or two of them, or one as it is?